I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. Why are Flagler County's COVID-19 numbers relatively low compared to the rest of the state? John Arking takes a look.
As of Monday afternoon, Flagler County accounted for only 45 of Florida's more than 20,000 confirmed cases of the novel coronavirus and just 2 of the state's 470 deaths. Flagler Medical Director Dr. Stephen Bickle says the county basically doubled its cases over 3 days in late March and then doubled them again in a 5-day period into early April and then doubled again over the last 10 days. But overall, the case count remains small, which is likely the result of a variety of factors.
Flagler County is relatively insulated. We're not that close to Jacksonville. Volusia is a moderately decent populated county, but we're not like Orlando, Miami. It's true that this is all over the country, but it is scattered and different regions have it more than others. So we might be partly just good efforts at getting the guidelines for staying at home a little bit faster than some of the other areas. We had a pretty proactive county and, city in that regard. I'd like to commend them for that. Bob Snyder on the beaches, we get some pushback, but it could have something to do with those numbers being good.
Current projections are that the state of Florida will peak on April 26th, and while it's still too early to make any conclusions, he remains cautiously optimistic. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
We want to do something for our seniors.
But what that something looks like remains unknown. Flagler School Superintendent Jim Tager says he remains hopeful that an in-person commencement will be possible.
If we flatten the curve of getting kids back to school, but we are scheduled for graduation May 28th. It is still on our calendars, and we are looking at the option of having it like we always have at the Ocean Center and thinking creatively for other solutions as well, where we can do some kind of a celebration for kids where they would be safe and not necessarily virtual. We want to have something that our families can participate in and remember.
But Tager can't make any promises right now since things are still uncertain. If you've lost your job and are in need of food assistance during the COVID-19 outbreak, there's 2 drive-through food banks set up for Flagler County residents today. One is at Flagler Palm Coast High School that opens at noon, while another is at Hidden Trails Community Center and opens at 1. Fresh fruits and veggies account for about 80% of what will be distributed. Residents will not be permitted to get out of their cars at either site. You're asked to clear a space in your trunk or back seat in advance for the food. The temporary food banks are a joint effort between Feeding Northeast Florida, Flagler Volunteer Services, and Flagler Schools. Our pets need food too. That's why the Flagler Humane Society is offering dry cat and dog food for those who are unable to buy it during these difficult times. You can call them for more information at 445-1814. Like most things during the COVID-19 pandemic, the Neighborhood Watch has gone virtual. Tony Magoo has the story.
A new virtual Neighborhood Watch premiered on the internet as the Flagler County Sheriff's Department is now trying to stay connected to the community during the coronavirus pandemic. During the virtual meeting, their community outreach unit will go over recent crime trends in Flagler County and ways that folks can protect themselves from becoming a victim. With me is Sheriff Rick Staley.
We did this because we've had significant crime reductions the last 3 years in partnership with the community, and we didn't want to lose that momentum because of COVID-19.
Tune in to the virtual Neighborhood Watch meetings Thursdays at 5 p.m. You can find this and future episodes on the Sheriff's Office Facebook page and YouTube channel. If you see something suspicious in your neighborhood, contact the Sheriff's Office. You can submit tips by calling the non-emergency number at 313-4911 or by sending an email to tips@flaglersheriffs.com. Remember, if you see something, say something. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
The lab may be elsewhere, but Diagnostic Solutions Laboratories headquarters is here in Palm Coast.
That's why CEO Tony Hoffman said they decided to make more COVID-19 testing available here.
We're a high-complexity molecular lab. What that means is we do molecular testing routinely, which is this type of testing needed to do SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-19 testing. So we felt an obligation to kind of change gears with our lab and start performing these tests as best we could to help in this pandemic.
Hoffman said the reason he lives in Palm Coast is that he did not want to raise his family nor deal with the long commutes in Atlanta, so he moved his headquarters here. To listen to more of the interview about Diagnostic Solutions, download the Flagler radio app and then go to the Free for All Friday podcast. Tomorrow, Tony Hoffman and Mayor Melissa Holland talk about the time it takes to get COVID-19 tests and the amount of PPEs that have to be used. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
COVID-19 drive-through testing begins by appointment today from 9 to 1 at the Palm Coast campus of Daytona State College, starting with first responders and healthcare workers who work within Flagler County. Flagler County Emergency Manager Jonathan Lord said even with the opening of this new testing site, the responders and healthcare workers will still need to meet certain criteria and bring their workplace identification. First responders and healthcare workers who have any of the COVID-19 symptoms or have a weakened immune system can schedule an appointment by calling 313-4200 from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Flagler County trained more than 20 staff members and volunteers to ensure smooth operations at the test site. Flagler County intends on broadening the access to testing at this site based on initial demand and subsequent test kit availability. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Rich Carroll.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's morning news. I'm Amy Cherry.